Just checking in on Mike Smith, wasn't out there today, kind of what this looks like.
So Mike Smith had an MRI on his thumb yesterday, was found to have a partial tear of a tendon. So he's going to be miss a week to 2 weeks. We'll start with a week. He practiced yesterday, was bothering him, decided to get some pictures taken of it, and it's an injury. They've got to give it a little bit of time to settle down. So the plan is to bring Skinner up from Bakersfield, but they're dealing with some COVID issues down there. They got to get things settled there, and we're hoping Konovalov is scheduled to come out of quarantine tomorrow. If he tests out all right, he may be able to practice tomorrow, depending on where we're at. So that's our we're chasing a little bit in goal right now.
For sure. This goes without saying, and it's obvious, but it's just kind of been one thing after another, Mike, this year, and not saying it's anybody's fault, but how much has this impacted things, not having him available regularly here?
Well, he's a key guy on our team. You know, we're expecting the two guys to share the net, and you know, Schmidt's been banged up most of the year, but he talked today about trying to play through it, but they want to give him at least a week off here, so hopefully it's a week and he can get back up and going again. But it's been a challenge with him out, that's for sure.
Dave, how difficult is it to practice things you might want to use in the game when you don't have enough bodies in practice?
Well, we had a couple optional days, and then we had 2 days where we had 3 lines, you know, kind of minimum. Tomorrow we're hoping to maybe have a couple extra bodies. So it's a fine line. We've got some guys that have been skating for 5 days straight, and another guy that hasn't skated for 5 days. So you're trying to find that balance. You know, we're talking about some of our structure stuff. We'll do a little more of that tomorrow, but you're just trying to get guys up and going for the most part, and see if we can get some flow and make sure guys are up to speed going into the game Saturday.
And Yamamoto was there, but Kuku's not quite ready to skate?
Yeah, he didn't. That's the way this goes. It's not automatic 5 days that guys come out of it. They've got to test out of it. There's some criteria they have to test to. Yamamoto met the criteria. Kuku didn't. Kuku skated on his own earlier this morning, but he couldn't get out of the protocols to go with the group. So hopefully he's in tomorrow. You're hoping that one more day is just the criteria. There's certain things levels you have to be at to be able to join the group, and you just go day to day with guys that way.
Are you going to have enough bodies to play the game on Saturday?
Well, I sure hope so. We're hopefully trending in the right direction of getting some guys back, but the next 2 days are pretty critical for that.
Thank you.
Dave, just hoping to clarify the timeline on Skinner. Like, should he be here for Saturday, or is that not possible?
No, he's just going through his testing now. They got to get the results of his testing to get him. We're trying to get him here as quick as we can, right? And that's what we're trying to do. But he's got to go through got to get a negative test, and they had some situations down there. They had a lot of guys test positive, so they're making sure on things, especially when you're crossing the border.
I know you've talked a lot about the extremes of the first 21 games in the last 13, and save percentages in that as well, with where the goalies were and kind of where they've been over the last 13 games. In your mind, how much of that is on the goaltenders? How much of that is on how the team defense?
I think it's on everybody's got to take responsibility in it. Everybody's a little bit. Like I think, you know, there's some things we think we've done better as a team, but there's still some areas we have to clean up. Our special teams, our penalty kill has dropped off fairly significantly. We're giving a lot of first goals up in games that you end up chasing games. We went through December, I think we used 11 different defensemen. I mean, there's a lot of little factors that add up to the outcomes of games. And, you know, there's if you could put your finger on one thing, you could stop it, but it's more than one thing for us.
On the goaltending front, with the way that Skinner has played at times this year, like when Smith was hurt earlier, you had to ride Koskinen a lot. You have a little more confidence now that
Yeah.
you can even that out a little bit between those guys, and is that what you plan on doing?
Yeah, Skinner's played very well lately. He's gone down there and really played well, and that was the plan. If he wasn't going to be playing here much, he'd get down there and keep playing, and he has, other than the game that got canceled the other day on them. But he's played very well down there, so we're very comfortable bringing him up and playing him. He showed he could play at this level.